the problem that existed this year, as in every other year, is in your general fund. This year we had total resources of $26,935,000. We had requests of approximately $3 million more than that. Then it became a problem of how you were going to allocate the funds to eliminate the $3 million.
Without having a tax increase?
Without having a tax increase.
Were you surprised that they approved it so quickly?
Very surprised.
Authority currently is constructing another project. It's Bear Creek Interceptor, which will serve a portion of Euless. The West Fork project, which we're working on now, will basically serve the rest of Euless and will phase out the two existing treatment plants that the city of Euless is operating right now.
Is their sewer system adequate according to law at this time? Do you know?
I don't know. It's my understanding that possibly they're not meeting all the requirements of the Texas Water Quality Board, which is the state regulatory agency on sewage effluent discharges.
Of our rate increases because we've now got postal reform than we would have had if we did not have postal reform.
This is Riverside Village Apartment Complex, and it's a unique concept in apartment house living. It's designed basically as a middle-income housing complex. Today, the announcement was made that Phase 2 of the project was beginning, with Equitable Life Assurance Society making an additional $4.5 million loan commitment. This makes Equitable's total commitment $8.25 million, all without government guarantees. At a news conference today, Equitable Division Mortgage Manager L.G. Rainey said his company's main safeguard on its investment is sound business knowledge.
Are there any questions?
Mr. McGuire, would you consider the backing of the CRG?
Would you repeat that, please?
Would you consider backing by the CRG?
I would try to represent all people equally. No matter who they represent, no matter what walk of life they are, no matter what their age, what their financial status, I will try to represent and be the servant of all people for the city of Dallas.
This is the Citizens for Representative Government, and they are comparable to the CCA. And would you seek their endorsement?
I seek all the people of Dallas's endorsement.
And so all the men and vehicles and helicopters were no use. They didn't find that F-111 in the Ozark National Forest. Jay Lewis, Channel 8 News on the Move, Clarksville, Arkansas.
We think that this ruling really only relates to the question of the administrative determination of obscenity by the post office. And actually, we've only used this law twice, just these two cases in the whole time. In the meantime, we have convicted hundreds of people in this whole area of obscenity based on the criminal statutes. So this doesn't affect really our efforts in that regard at all.
Postmaster, do you expect this ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court to affect any of those convictions and thus bring about possible appeals?
No, I don't think any of those convictions are based on a law that the Supreme Court passed on.
You're asking for a 1/3 increase in the rate of first-class postage. Do you feel this rate is inflationary, and in your 5-year program, do you anticipate asking for a 1/3 increase each of the 5 years?
Well, indeed I don't. As a matter of fact, I think that we can bring about $1 billion to $2 billion a year savings in the Postal Service.
Well, the main safeguard we have is the market study that we made that determined the need for the project in the city of Fort Worth. We determined that there were a number of families, that number of families that were needed to keep the apartments rented at these rentals, that the cost and upkeep would be commensurate with the gross income, and that there would be enough net cash flow to take care of our investment. Plus the fact that we have checked very carefully, as you might imagine, on the Daniel Investment Company, Danny Rabinowitz and his associates, Perry Management Company, and so far as management is concerned, and we feel that they will be self-sustaining units, and that's the only safeguard that we have in any type of loan.
When all is said and done, over 1,000 middle-income units will be included in this complex. Prices start at $132.50 for a one-bedroom unfurnished apartment. The only prerequisite for living here is that your monthly salary be 4 times that of the rent. Unlike the controversial FHA 235 program, where you can't make more than a certain amount, here you can't make less. Jerry Park, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.